We'll do a night of conversation about business, and we're going to be introducing you to a very special guest who has created, who they have created their own books, young people, children's books. And I think tonight we're going to introduce you to.
Well, in a moment we'll bring them on, but lovely to have you all with us. Okay, hope you've had a good start to the week so far.
Absolutely.
And hope it continues. Okay, and the weather improves as well. All right.
We can't guarantee that, but we'll give it a bit of our luck, and so hopefully everything should be getting better.
Indeed. So who have you got on tonight here?
Well, it's Dele Olafenye, yeah, and we are talking to him about his business and him and his wife's business, newly created, and it all came about by the need to provide something for their son. So we are fortunate enough that because of that, as they say, with what you need, you create. So well done to the both of them, and we'll be talking to them as we speak now. Welcome.
Okay. So welcome to Dele Olofoye from Kunda Kids. Hi,
Hello.
Dele.
Hi.
I hope you didn't make a hash of your last name. So enlighten us. Can you tell us how we pronounce your surname, my darling?
Yeah, it's Olafuyi.
Olafuyi. Lovely. Welcome.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Glad
Thank
you're
you very
with us
much.
this evening.
Yeah, super excited to be here. Super excited to be a big fan. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolute pleasure. You know, when Lorraine spoke about your book and we did a little bit of research, it was like, oh my God, this has not been created.
Well, the publishing company, because it's a publishing company and media company, yeah.
We said we need to invite you for a conversation. So here we are, you know. It doesn't take long. What it takes is a phone call and a conversation, and anything can happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, my better half couldn't be here today, Louisa. You know, just family
takes over.
Yeah,
and as we all know, family is the number one thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll
try my best to make up for.
Don't worry.
I'm sure you represent very well. If not, I'm sure she'll let you know too.
Trust me, you will know later tonight. So you better represent.
You better will.
Oh no, that's lovely.
Okay, so first and foremost, as I normally do in my football hooliganism style, who are ya?
So my name is Dele Olafuyi, as you introduced me, and I'm co-founder of Kunda Kids. Kunda Kids is a publishing and media content creation studio founded by myself and Louisa. We founded Kunda Kids last year. And I'm sure in the course of the interview, I'll talk a lot more about why we started the company. But that's what we do. We founded Kunda Kids to tell stories that would inspire our kids to also try to solve the problem of lack of representation in children's books, which is a big problem. And it's important we talk about this to solve a lot of it. So that's me. I'm a dad. I love football. I love sports generally.
Wait. We're going to find out now. What team? What?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh, good man. That's the best team that you can find. So
Arsenal, there you go.
We can speak. Okay, we can leave you in the background. No, that's lovely.
That's lovely. Now, in terms of the Kunda Kids, I can ask you, where were you educated?
So I grew up in Nigeria. I only moved to the UK about 4 years ago, but I've been in Nigeria all my life. So all my education, up until then, till I left Nigeria, I've been in Nigeria, schooled in some of the best schools in Nigeria. And then when I came to the UK in 2017, I came to do my MBA. That was at the University of Cambridge. And was when I went to Cambridge, I realized, okay, yeah, I need to start a company that is going to impact the black community. And the reason why was I saw a lot of my friends and colleagues, from different communities, and I got exposed to how a lot of people have an impact in their communities. And since then was my goal, like I'm gonna go out and make some really huge impact in the black community. So interestingly, I wanted to do this by helping black businesses.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to do. But when lockdown started last year, like, and I'll tell you a little about that, down the line. That was when, I figured, oh, it has to be Kunda Kids.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of you wanting to help black businesses, is this your first business, or what's this is your first business?
No. So I've done quite a few businesses. In the past, I've made T-shirts, I've sold T-shirts. I've done interesting things like that. But before this, my wife and I have always done a lot of consulting, a lot of marketing consulting.
Okay.
We are both experienced marketeers, and
Right.
she has a lot of deep experience in research. So we founded a research agency. But it died because we couldn't scale it while holding down 9 to 5 jobs. So we just had to shut it down because we couldn't meet up with the demands that we're getting from clients.
Wow.
So we took a lot of learnings from that when we started Kunda Kids to form a better company and to do things in a different way.
Well, thus far you're doing really well with that, believe me.
Thank you.
So from that point of view, have you always wanted to be in business, or is it generally that business? It seems like everything that you've done is catered around business, whether for yourselves or looking at how do you impact on the black community, and now you've taken to the next level is how do you impact on children? Yeah. So it's always been business has always been in the forefront of what you do. Is that correct?
So I'll say yes. I've always liked to do business, but unfortunately, growing up in Nigeria, you kind of grow up with the mindset of you need to leave school and go and get a job. And I recall when I left the university, I wanted to start a company back then. But it was unheard of for you to leave school and say you want to be an entrepreneur. Because it's not an easy journey. It wasn't fashionable then. The thing is, you need to go and get a job in a big multinational, which is what I did. And then, 10 years after, you're still waiting for that paycheck at the end of the month. It's getting better as the years go by, but you're still waiting for that paycheck and
reliant upon it.
And that was why I decided I'm going to leave the workplace and go and get a degree in business. Let me take 1 year to figure out myself how I want to charter the course for the rest of my life. And during the 1 year I spent studying at Cambridge, that was when I decided I'm actually going to go into business proper, like full time. I set a target of in the next 2 to 5 years, and it happened 2 years after I left school. So, right.
So let's go back 10 years and say you left college, you left university, and you thought I should go into business, but I'll just go and work and find the experience. Do you regret that? In terms of
in terms of
in terms of your own development, like 10 years later, I should have really just left when I wanted to leave.
So I'll tell you what, there's a company that was founded in Nigeria. It's a big company now. And what they do today, then they were not existing. What they do today is what we wanted to do, what I wanted to do over 10 years ago. That was 2008, 2009, about 12 years ago. Because it was in the food industry. Because I had an undergraduate degree in food, and having studied that, I realized, because I studied food technology, which is, the science and engineering behind food packaging and processing and all of that. So I wanted to start that company then. But in Nigeria, man, growing up, you need to get a job. Like you absolutely need to get a job. So I was torn between setting up a company then and looking for a job. And unemployment was also high. But I left school with really brilliant grades. I was the best in my class. And, of course, I was going to get a job. So it felt like, okay, since you're qualified, you can get that good job, which I did.
Evolution.
Yeah.
And the moment you start earning that monthly salary and you're comfortable,
becomes a
that's it. That's it. So
that's
I do regret. I wish it would have been a very difficult journey. But I think, I probably would have been a multi-millionaire by now.
Don't worry, it will come naturally, and you don't have to work hard for it. You just have to do it, because what you're doing at the moment, there is a lot of scope.
Yes, and it's inspiring the next generation.
It's inspiring, so well done to you.
So all of these things have obviously helped you in preparing really for this business. With all your insight and the different businesses, you've been able to take away a lot of things to help you on your way. So in terms of the business itself, Kunda Kids, tell us a little bit more about that and how it started. What was the inception and why you started the business?
Okay, amazing. So like I said, when I finished my degree at Cambridge, then Louisa was working at the Cambridge University Press. She was working in publishing, and I was just working in of course, one of the big companies still. And then lockdown. So I had always thought about it that I want to start a company that is going to help Black businesses, Black professionals, because there's a lot of room for us to grow our Black businesses and start building Black wealth. And that's kind of what I wanted to show businesses how to do. Because there are a lot of Black business owners out there. It's not like they don't have a good business, they do. But there's some lack of knowledge in terms of how to grow a business. So you have a business, you're selling 100 today. How do you start selling 10,000? Not how do you go from 100 to 150, and then maybe you feel 500 is the max I can grow. Like there's some strategies to employ in all of this. So I wanted to be that expert that would be working with businesses. But lockdown happened last year, and then I have a 2.5-year-old now. When lockdown started, it just turned 1. And that was the point where we said we want to start gathering a lot of resources for him. Buying better books, books for him to see himself in, books he's reading and all. And that was when it dawned on us that, oh my God, there's a serious lack of diversity in children's book. And Louisa was working in publishing at the time. She was with the Cambridge University Press. So we started doing a lot of research, checking, okay, what are the statistics? And we got to find out only 2% of recently published books has a lead Black character. We got to find out an animal is 6 to 8 times more likely to be the protagonist in a children's book. We got to understand, more likely to be the protagonist than any, diverse character at all. We got to understand that if you don't have a popular name or a big following, you don't get that. Don't even approach the big publishing companies if you're from a diverse background, because the answer is no, and I can say this publicly. You might find the odd person that might get the deal, but it's not. Basically.
So is that if you're approaching not necessarily just for children's books, it could be any book which is of a diverse nature. It really would be the first to be considered. Do you think, or?
So I can't speak. I can't speak authoritatively if it's not children's books, because all my research has just been around children's books.
Okay, so
it's quite similar, to be honest. But so children's books, and I'll tell you, look at the big publishing companies and look at the people that they are publishing, black books with lead black characters. They're all popular people. They're all well-known people with big followings. And there are a lot of barriers, there are a lot of gatekeepers when it comes to putting books out there. But the thing is, there's still that problem. The problem exists, which is our kids don't have enough books that show them that you're relevant. There are books out there, but it's still not enough. That's
awareness
number one.
and
number two,
books.
exactly. That's number one. And number two is people from other races also need to have better diversity in their books. And then third, you look at it, we were trying to find African stories to tell, to show our son. But unfortunately, there were very few out there. And we Africans, storytelling is embedded in our culture, in our roots and history. Like it's, just like dance, music, food, storytelling, it's part of us. But unfortunately, there's an aspect that the industry isn't helping bring out. And last but not the least, it's also quite expensive putting out good quality books. Illustrators are expensive. Printing is expensive. Paying an editor, getting everything done. So when you look at all the obstacles, that's why the lack of diversity is still there. So I spoke with Louisa, and I was like, you know what? Let's find out we're going to solve this problem. Let's start our own company. Let's start writing books. Let's open our doors to people that want to release children's books. We're going to help them illustrate. We're going to help them get it out. As long as you have really good stories, definitely 100% we're here to support you. So we were going to do that, but we said, let's write stories ourselves first. Let's show people the kind of minimum standard that we're setting for any work that we're going to put out. So we wrote those 4 books, and we put out 4 books at the same time last year.
Oh my word! So you wrote them yourself?
Yes, we
you
did.
And your wife, you wrote the books, and you published them and put them out there. All 4 books, all in one go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow! How long was that process?
I'll be honest with you, we did everything in 6 months, from writing the first stories to illustrating and putting it out. Please remember me never to do that again.
I can imagine that must have been a feat within itself, and you've got your little one as well. So
remind me never to do that again.
Well, I'm going to share with everybody now. You know what I mean? The picture. There you go. So obviously there's a few more, but this is your wonderful wife, and these are the array of books that you have presently.
Yes,
wonderful.
Yes, amazing. Yes, so thanks for sharing that. So so we put out 4 books in December last year, and we've been blown away by the kind of reception that we've received from the community. It's been mind-blowing. Like, I'll say it's been mind-blowing. And based on that, we've decided we're on the right track, because you're onto something when you're solving a problem. It's a big problem. It's not just a small, it's like a big problem. And we are like, we want to solve this problem. So we've come up with a few models on how we're going to approach solving the problem. And we think it's going to be quite exciting. And there are a lot of exciting things we have in our pipeline. Yeah.
So in regards to, the funding, because that seems to be the theme, that since we have been doing the live streams when we've spoken to many businesses, is that obviously they've seen the lack of certain products or services, and they've decided to go it themselves and to fund it themselves. Was that a big issue? How did you know where to start? Or what did you start with first and foremost? Was it research or?
So yeah, of course, everything was research.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what our process was. Initially, we started with research because Luisa has a strong research background. You remember I mentioned we were running a market research agency,
Yes, yes.
but we just couldn't scale it because we had full-time jobs, and clients asking, "Can you run this research? Can I come?
Yeah.
I need to do it on a Wednesday," and we're like, "Oh no, you can't," because I'm at work. It just wasn't working. So that was why we shut down that company. So first thing, we started with research. We did a lot of market research. We had some concepts and we tested those concepts. People said,
how did you test those concepts? Sorry. How did you test the concepts?
So like, we had the concept of, what we want to write about African history. We want to write, we want to write something futuristic. We want to write about empires, so we just did some research, some focus groups. And the big issue is African history is not well taught. When African history is taught, it typically starts with slavery.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why you see Akunda kids. We don't talk about slavery. We don't talk about colonization. Not that those things aren't important. They are, but it's stereotype all that is always talked about. And there's a lot of beauty in Africa, in our history. The richest man in the world is an African. You talk about the great queens in African history. There's a lot of amazing
civilizations and so
stories.
on.
Civilization we know started from Africa. There were big universities in Africa that were centers of learning in the ancient world. Technology,
exactly.
we think started in Africa, and all of that. So basically, we tested that, and then we tested the direction for the illustrations. The first two directions we tested failed. People were like, "Oh no, don't do this. This this doesn't look commercial. Don't do this. This looks too much like this other company." And so we went back to the drawing board, came up with a new style, and we got 100% unanimous feedback. Like, yes, this is the direction to go. That's why our illustrations are the way they are. So it all started with research. And then after research was about finding the right illustrators. Now, illustrators are very expensive. But one of the things that we do at Kunda Kids, and I do say this publicly, is there are a lot of young, talented people out there that are looking for opportunities. So I reached out to the people that illustrated our first 4 books. They're 2 university students in Nigeria. So we reached out to them, and they were like, okay, they're not sure they have the ability to take on a project of this magnitude. One of the things I've learned in the course of my managerial career is how to bring out the best in people. So I was like, you know what, don't worry, you've got it. Let's do it. Let's make this happen. And we started. Yeah, exactly. And then they made it happen. So that was that. So, and then on to printing the books. Needed to find a printer. Luckily, we found a printer in the UK. And we're able to print our books in the UK, get them delivered, in record time. And then you talk about funding. I'll tell you the interesting parts that people didn't know. Last year, Louisa and I wanted to buy a house. And that was about it. We were like, okay, we think we're getting close to the amounts we need. And that was getting close to the time we needed to start Kunda Kids. So it was a question of, we can't do these 2 at the same time. It's and we said, you know what? It was a very easy decision because we said, this, we're trying to solve a problem. We can buy a house every time, but we don't want to live with that regret of, we wish we actually started that company. So we started investing from our own savings in building the company, and that's how we funded Kunda Kids to launch it last year. So we self-funded the company till launch. And just as we launched, we got 1 or 2 little investors to support us with our printing, building inventory, and all. But yeah, that's it. That's what our process was like.
Wow,
it was a lot of fun all through. A lot of very late nights.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was
But
really
it's all
nice.
worth it at the end of the day because the books are fabulous. They're well written, and they will, obviously do inspire and capture the imagination of our young people.
But you know what? The thing is, it's not just about capturing the imagination of our young people.
Of all.
It's also the
Yeah.
strength
Children.
of your books is that our cousins can buy and start to learn about us.
Yeah.
In which case, that helps about the development of young people to walk away from that racism and start to appreciate that the other cultures have something to give, because that's something that's not been put out there.
And more than slavery, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, to enlighten everyone about actually there is more to our culture than just slavery. You know what I mean? There's a wealth of positive imagery, positive stories, positive, you know what I mean, history that needs to be told as well. And I think that you're doing it or starting that journey in
your
the best
stories
possible,
and illustrations actually
way.
state that, because I can, in just seeing what you've produced, I can actually see how the story can be transmitted to our cousins so that they can actually learn from that.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to share again. Just one more, because I need to just put out there one of them as well.
Can you see that story?
Yep, this is one of our new titles.
Tell us about that one then. Tell us about that one.
King Aubrey.
Yes. So we're having our book launch. So basically last year we released 4 books, and I'll tell you about the 4 before we wrap up. But this month we are releasing 2 new titles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Closer to this.
Yes, King Aubrey.
The best jollof. This is it. Live. It's not yet launched. I'll be in Nigeria next week to launch this. And Queen Moremi makes a promise.
Yes, Queen
inspired by Queen in Nigeria. So let me tell you about King Aubrey, because that was what you asked for. So a lot of people, I'm Nigerian and Ghanaians, all, there's this jollof wars going on between Nigeria and Ghana. Everybody knows Nigeria makes the best jollof rice. Like
that's not even a conversation. That's not even a conversation.
I think
that's it.
That will come up.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. But historically, right? Historically, jollof rice originated from Senegal, and in Senegal, there's a kingdom called the Jollof Kingdom.
Okay.
Jollof rice was like their main recipe, and King Aubrey that we wrote about here is the last. It was the last king of the Jollof empire.
Okay.
So, like I said, our books, we teach history, but in a fun way. We don't go too deep, because we still want kids to enjoy the story, because we're writing for 3 to 8. When we start writing for 9 to 12, then we're going to tell them, like go into more details, into the chapters and all. But for now, so King Aubrey cooks the best jollof. Very, I'll say this is like the most beautiful book we've done. I didn't say that publicly, but it's so beautiful. Because King Aubrey, the plot is he loves to cook. He loves to cook for his friends, and the Senegalese.
Don't show too much. That's it.
I know this is the last page I'm showing. The Senegalese love to sit down and eat together. We're representing some of that, and King Aubrey cooks the best jollof. So it's a story about King, this guy that has this special magical recipe, and he loves to cook, but he has this funny neighbors. They're the Shushu people, right? And the Shushu people just don't like his jollof rice, and every time he cooks, their stomach starts to rumble. I don't know if you saw the animated trailer we did.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So their stomach starts to rumble, and then when their stomach rumbles, they want, so they got upset, attacked this village, and tried to scatter all the jollof and all. But it's a story. I'm not going to tell everything. It's a story that teaches kids courage. It teaches kids ability to reconcile after conflict. It teaches kids friendship, because every book that we write has soft skills that we like to pass across. And I'll tell you all the soft skills in all our stories. So, but that's kind of like what King Galbraith is like. But we took inspiration from King Galbraith, the last king of the Jollof Empire in Senegal, that a lot of people don't know about, that actually sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
That's all right.
Life continues.
Yes.
So someone called me and I was declining, but when you push your iPhone button like 3 times, it calls the police.
We just learned that today. That if you call twice, it covers over the don't disturb. So we just learned that today. But you know what? One of the things about what you've done is you spoke about that earlier about the culture. And it's a West Indian culture as well that that's passed on from Africa to the Caribbean, about the story, the story writing and what the story represents.
Yes.
It's about the morals and how you operate around it within the village and so on, that you actually when you sit around and you talk, that is where the history, while not written, but it's spoken and passed from one person to another. So everyone becomes a Sherman, that they're passing that information on. So you are recreating that, in the sense that these stories that you are writing actually hit that point, that everybody is not just those in the village sitting around the table or around the tree. It's now internationally that the story is going to go through. So I really commend you, because I can sense that.
Indeed. And in terms of the books themselves, obviously you've created these wonderful books. Funded by yourself, the illustrations are done. You've brought everything out, and the books are now there. How did you, obviously in COVID times, how did you manage to get the books out there? In terms of selling it and pushing it so that people got to know who you are.
Well, so Louisa and I have worked the marketing. So I think when we launched last year, we had to put on our marketing ads. As I was the marketing lead for Africa at World Remit. I left just 2 months ago to work full time on Kunda Kids right now.
Okay.
So basically we took a lot of our marketing experience, our expertise, to just push it out there. It was quite difficult from the marketing wasn't the difficult part. I could talk a little bit about what we did. Well, the difficult part was the logistics, because a lot of people had ordered our books to give out as Christmas gifts.
Yes.
So we had like 500 orders to push out before Christmas. It was and we couldn't get help because there was lockdown. We couldn't get people to come into the house. So it was just Louisa and I packing books day and night. It was a lot. It was a lot of but we made it happen. Some people we had to drive down to give them their books just to make sure they got it in time for Christmas. And Royal Mail, the mailing services over Christmas. It was But basically the logistics part, we had some issues. But apart from that, marketing was generally the strategy we employed was, I like to look at it like a circle, start from your closed network and then expand to the next circle outside expand to the next
effect.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so keep on pushing, through Instagram, social media and everything.
So are you in any shop? Are you in any of the book stores or at the moment?
So at the moment, we're selling from our website and Amazon mainly, and
so you're on Amazon as well. I'll share that with everybody.
Yes, and the other platform that we're on, it's called Indigi's Books. Very wonderful supporter of Kunda Kids. He's bought our books a few times and reordered to sell on his platform. So that's where the books are, but mainly on our website, www.kundakids.com, on Amazon. But the plan right now is for us to expand and push into all the all areas, yeah, into all the black-owned bookstores, all bookstores, as many bookstores as possible, because we believe our books are for all kids.
Understood. Yes, absolutely. And for me, the question for me is, in terms of, you have found that you've now been putting the books out there, and you found the distribution of the books. Have you looked at a different distributor, or have you got in touch with any distributors to help you to push your books out?
So there's some that we're beginning to look at, and we're going to start chatting with them very soon.
Okay.
But there's some that we're looking at. We're not with any one of them yet.
Yeah.
But definitely something we're looking.
It's in progress.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So now that we've got the books going out there, so what is it that you're looking at in terms of the next step, the next evolution in terms of Kunda Kids? And because you now just put out 2 new books, and I'm sure that you're going to be looking at
four initially, and we've got 2 more coming out.
You've got 2 more coming out as well.
Yeah. So these are the first 4. You have Shaka Zulu Learns to Dance, fantastic book. Queen Yas Sleeps the Golden School.
Sorry, just a reminder, the books currently at the moment are for children between the ages of 3 and 8. Is that correct?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
There's Mansa Musa Beauty School. We love Mansa Musa, the richest man in history. And Queen Kitami Makes Friends, my favorite book. I'm not meant to say that, but I love that story. I think it's the most beautiful story of them all. And then the 2 new stories, King Galbraith Cooks the Best Jollof, which I talked about, and Queen Moremi Makes a Promise.
Great.
Fantastic story. Everybody loves to see this beautiful page,
I like the thought process of the story and the torch, but we'll leave that alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
The book, people, because you know what?
And when you buy these 2 new books, you get this coloring book for free. The offer lasts till end of August. This coloring book comes along for free when you order the 2 new books. Because we just want people to experience all of our books in one. That's why we said let's give out this coloring books to.
Oh, that's marvelous. That's lovely. Yeah. That's lovely. We do have somebody just put a question out, which I'll share with you here. It's from FP Comms. That's Nicola. Nicola, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Are you doing anything with the libraries for Black History Month?
We would like to, and if you have libraries you could introduce us to, we'll be very glad to make it happen. But yes, we would like to 100% do it because we think it's important. Black History Month is a time that we feel it's really important to get our stories out there, and we're going to be really working hard to make it happen.
Yeah, and one of a question for me, I would ask you. Obviously, these books are for me are very, very valued right now and are necessary. So, obviously, with the age ranges that you're looking at, have you approached schools at all or the education system? Because I think it would be fantastic to try and, try and push into that market as well. Have you started that, or is that something for the future?
So that's, I'll say we've started, because putting books for schools is the first thing is you need to have a teacher's guide. Because that way it's easy for teachers to use the resources. So we've started putting together our teacher's guides, and we're hoping to get them ready very soon. Once they're ready, then we'll be able to send them as a package to schools. Like, we've put together these resources for you to use to, have conversations, with kids, with your students and all of that. And we think that's going to be very, very exciting and a huge opportunity once that happens.
I think so. I think it's a really good thing because the establishments, the schools and so on, because right now we're in the summer holidays, it's going to be difficult to get in touch with the right type of people. However, it's still a possibility that, you know, administrators are still around that would like to hear from you. So as soon as you can get it out there, you know, I know for sure that there are a few contacts that I'll be able to put them through. So, you know, we'll be able to work on that, you know, and I think that anyone who does work within the school and wants to see the books out there, first and foremost, buy them, get an experience of them, because when you know the subject, you can sell the subject.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can go and represent Kunda Kids because you've actually read the books, you see what it's about, and you're more enamored to say, this is what the book's about.
Especially that's obviously to all primary teachers, you know, and, you know, to really sort of get a grasp of the books, get to know them. And then obviously, you know, you can pitch that as well to whoever's buying your books for your school, because obviously now I would say this is a great time for us, because it is all about that inclusivity, and you know, schools want to be seen to be buying books that are representing everybody. So if, you know, I couldn't say, you know, even clearer, you know, if you do work in schools, you just let whoever is buying the books know, you know, Kunda Kids are, you know what I mean, representing, they are showing the diaspora in the best way,
and
bring the story,
buy the books and bring them to those people who buy them, let them to see them rather than just the word of mouth, because that's how we, you know, transfer that from conversation to actual practical. Exactly. This is what's out there for the kids in the school.
But also as well, now Dele, I might put you on the spot here, because I was reading somewhere that somewhere along the line, you've already been recognized by Forbes. Now, did I hear that correctly? Did I see that correctly?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's correct. So I was speaking in Clubhouse, you know, a few months back, and there happened to be a reporter from Forbes, and was like, you know, I love what you guys are doing. Let's have a chat, and that was it. You know, it happened through Clubhouse. So yeah, we got an article. We were featured in Forbes, and that's huge. And for us, it happened very early in our journey, just like 2 months after we launched our books, and we were super excited about that, because it was like the kind of you know, it gave us all the confidence that we
that you're going into
right track going forward.
But Forbes are not the only ones who recognize you, though, are they? Because I've seen a list of recognitions there that's like impressive. People have to be in business for many years to have the list of people who have recognized the quality of your work, you know. So I think this is not the time to be shy.
Yeah, we've been on Forbes, we've been on BBC, that was BBC in London here. We've been on The Independent, a few other platforms, you know, like Channels TV, Nigeria, Rise TV, Colorful Radio. We've been on a few platforms, and we're super excited about the recognition we've gotten.
So you're getting the name out there. You know,
there is traction going, happening. Yeah.
And wait till you see what's coming next.
Interesting.
Can we get a hint, or do we have to wait?
So I'll tell you some of the things that we're doing. But when we launch our books, we're launching our books this month on the 28th of August. The new books. That's going to be the official.
I'm going to see if I can share them again for the moment. I don't know if I've got.
Queen Moremi Makes a Promise, and King Albury.
We've got King Albury.
There you
go, everybody. These are for your children. And let me see. And we have, Queen Yaya.
Saves the Golden Stool.
And we have you here with all 4 books. So yes.
So show us the ones that you have there that are coming out now.
So the 2 new books are this: Queen Moremi Makes a Promise, and King Albury Cooks the Best Jollof, and we're adding them to our initial 4 books.
Which were
Rikitami, Mansa Musa Builds a School, Queen Ya Saves the Golden Stool, and Shaka Zulu Learns to Dance.
Yeah.
And like I said, anyone that orders the 2 new books gets this coloring book for free, so you can test your child coloring skills.
That is
It has
lovely.
beautiful illustrations from
Cool.
all of
I
our
think
books.
we need a lot
So
more.
just
We like that. It's
yeah.
encouraging to see.
So just to tell you a little about what we're doing at Kunda Kids, because we tell our stories through books, through songs and animations. And as I speak with you, we're working on our first Kunda Kids album. Don't be scared, I'm not singing.
Wow.
I'll say
I'm sure you got some wonderful dulcet tones there.
one of the things getting into the workforce took from me was my ability to sing. I used to be in like the university choir. I used to sing tenor. I used to play the piano.
Wow.
But when I started my first proper full-time job, I couldn't practice. I couldn't do it. And then 10 years later, I realized I'd stopped playing the keyboard. I can still play, but not at
the
some
way that
point.
you.
Yeah, exactly. At some point in my life, I considered becoming a professional musician, but that was like another world entirely. Anyway,
when Kunda Kids start moving to the level where you don't need to be there 24/7, I'm sure I'll be waiting for that album to come out.
so yeah, maybe my own album. But yeah, we're working on our first Kunda Kids album, and it's an album of nursery rhymes.
Okay.
And why this album is important is
Yes.
because nursery rhymes are quite problematic, and we want to put this album out there to use it to enlighten parents, in our community, that you need to start demanding for some nursery rhymes not to be played to your kids, because some of these nursery rhymes
have hidden stories within.
Exactly. Quite a number of them are very strong racist roots, songs in word, things like that. And so it's something that we want to do. When we put out this album, we're gonna reach out to our community properly and tell them this is why we've put this out. So if the big companies that make nursery rhymes are not gonna pull out the songs that they have that have racist roots, then we're going to start making our own nursery rhyme, because it's unfair for our kids to grow up singing songs that were used to mock their grandfathers.
Yes.
It's a bit unfair, and I think it's one of there's some songs that society should just forget politely. But besides the nursery rhyme, we're also working on building an online library of books and books and books, because that's the most effective way to solve this problem of lack of representation in children's books. If we can't, it will be difficult for us to solve it alone as a company by printing all the books. So if we can create a digital library where parents could just log into and read books, you find like dozens of books. It takes that problem away. So at the book launch, I'll share our full roadmap in terms of everything we're doing at Kunda Kids.
Well, you know something. In terms of what you're saying there, the long story is today it's always been one of those things that's been said that if you're going to hide any information, put it in a book, from a black person. But when our children start reading books and are accustomed to reading books, there's nothing that can be hidden. And then what we have is the next generation of readers who are aware of what's happening in the world and can make their own decisions from reading books. Because we're in a situation here where not a lot of us do read. And, I'm not talking about everyone, but there are a few of us who do not read at all. And if we can start that process of teaching our children to start enjoying reading, that makes for providing them with information in the books to read a lot more easier.
Well, of course.
So you're doing the right thing,
indeed. And obviously, I'm sure that you have educated quite a few of us already by talking about the nursery rhymes and the need to really respectfully cease using them, within the nurseries or whatever, because of the past history they're attached to. So I think when putting out there the awareness of that, you know what I mean, we commend you, and it is something, because we always have to learn. You know, we sing certain things or we do certain things, but sometimes we don't know what the history is behind it. When you know better, you do better. So, you know, thank you for sharing that, and hopefully anybody that is watching this will then take that on board and really look at and investigate, you know, the origins of these things.
Oh yes.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. It's you know, I remember having a chat with someone. It was about the song Baba Black Sheep.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a problematic song, you know, because a parent went to the nursery to complain, like, stop teaching my child this song. And they were like, you know, so he did a lot of research and said, actually, that song doesn't have a racist roots, right? And I said, okay, I did the research and I saw, okay, well, you know, there was a story behind it. Whether the story is true or false, I don't know, but there's a consensus that, you know, the story, I think, was about a little boy that didn't have enough wool or something. I can't remember the story exactly. But it wasn't a racist roots versus others. But what I told him is, this song has been used as a tool for racism over the years. Like, so even though the roots were not racist, but a lot of people have used it for decades and have used it to mock black kids in class, in nursery, in school, and that their parents, their grandparents still live the trauma of that mockery. And I was like, when you think of that, shouldn't you be respectful enough to at least not play that because of the history that has been associated with that song, right? So there's just some of these conversations around nursery rhymes.
Those conversations don't necessarily happen, and so until you start challenging there, you're not going to find out exactly where it's coming from.
Absolutely.
So again, I mean, you know, hats off to you for bringing that to the fore and educating us forward. And obviously we're building the library, you know, the digital library, about all the books.
So does that include what you see Kunda Kids doing in the next 5 years? Where do you see the legacy of Kunda Kids?
We like that question.
You see, because we're always thinking about the here and the now, but the truth is, I think I've alluded to the legacy being that we are teaching our now to improve later on, to start reading books. So where do you see the legacy of Kunda Kids?
So I'll tell you a quick story before I tell you where I see the legacy.
Okay.
I had a meeting with our creative director, a very talented artist that is based in Ghana. And he said, when he thinks of his childhood, there's some memories that come to mind. He thinks of some books he read, some toys he had. And then I was telling Louisa, like, when I think of my childhood, there's a nickname that I still have till today, which is Super Ted. Everybody in my family calls me Super Ted, because when Super Ted is on TV, I just go crazy, like, and I'm flying around the sitting room. And that's something that I still remember till today. Like, I still remember people calling me Super Ted, and my people in my family still call me Super Ted. It's like my nickname in the house. And I was thinking, you know, I want the kids that grow up today to be able to look back at Kunda Kids and, you know, let it be one of their fondest memories growing up, living the lasting memory of a wonderful, well exposed childhood. So in 5 years, where I see Kunda Kids, I want every child all over Europe and Africa to have access to a Kunda Kids book, whether it's through your library at home or through your school library or in your nursery, whichever one. Every child must have access to a Kunda Kids book. That's where we want to be in 5 years.
Well, you know what, that's a good story, because you know, from my youth, raising in the Caribbean as well, we had Bear Nancy, Nancy the spider, and that was our story as to why you don't do this, because Bear Nancy told you not to do this. Moral stories that came from the books, and we passed it on verbally, but the stories were live. And I think that what you're doing there, you are doing exactly that, which is, it's another illustration of Bear Nancy telling the moral stories, educating people as to what to do. And so you are educating our young. So I really commend you for that. You know, indeed. Well done.
And not only that as well, obviously you're looking to bring through the next famous illustrators and you know, story writers and so on, you know what I mean? So that is very, very, very exciting indeed. And I'm sure as you grow, you'll be looking, searching for more. I mean, as we stand at the moment, in terms of going forward with the books, are you currently looking for more illustrators to come on board, or?
100%. Two things that we really want to do about Kunda Kids. We want to showcase talented illustrators. We want to give them opportunities to shine. And two, authors, writers that will never, you know, have the chance to get published just because they don't have a popular name or big following. But, you know, we want to give them opportunity. So, and I'll tell you, these two stories. So Louisa and I wrote our first 4 books, but we decided let's open the Kunda Kids door. So Queen Moremi Makes a Promise was written by a Nigerian author. His name is Ayo Yeku. He's an author. He has about 7-8 children's books already, but he decided to work with this project.
Collaboration, well done.
Yeah. King Albert Cooks the Best Jollof was written by Shokna Nyae. She is a descendant of King Albert, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have the same name. So this is our first children's book, and she's a descendant of him. And so I was like, you have to write this book. And she also works in child psychology and all of that. So like, you have to write this book. So it's our first children's book, and we're super excited about all of that. So,
wow. Well done.
So that's kind of where we are. So we want to start bringing out really talented people, showcasing their stories. And one of the things that you're going to see us do is, like, from November, we're going to start publishing books, you know, for other authors and, you know, new authors, experienced authors. The book we have coming out in November is so exciting. And
wow. So you've got the 2 coming out, and then in November, Watch This Space.
Watch This Space.
So tell me when the book launches again.
It's 28th of August.
28th of August. And are you doing anything special with that? Are you going to be physically somewhere doing that? Or?
Yes, we're going to have it at the Africa Center.
Right, so I'm writing
where's that? So, the Africa Center. Where's that?
It's in Southwark.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm writing this for everyone so that they know. So this is, that's brilliant. So Kunda Kids.
So if you can share with us the details, and we'll put it under the, you know, the conversations, so that we can actually make sure that we have captured that to pass it on.
So it's the 28th of September. Is that a Saturday?
No, 28th.
Yes, it is. It's a Saturday.
It's August, isn't it? Not September.
Yeah, August. Yeah,
it's 28th of August.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun day for, you know, moms, dads, kids, uncles, aunties.
Well, we'll definitely be there. We will be there. It'll be wonderful to meet you. And what we will do, we'll publicize that in our group so that people know. So, you know, they can come in. And I might see about something else happening. We will talk about that later.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And from what time is that? They book signing?
So we're looking at it going from like 1 o'clock till about 5 or 6 p.m. So it's just there's gonna be activities, book readings, games for kids, just a lot of different things happening. And there's going to be like a proper 60-minute section, which is like the book launch, the serious stuff.
And that's at the Africa Center, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just writing that for everyone.
Yeah. And one of the things that we're really going to be talking about that day beyond our book launch is how do we improve the reading culture? How do we build the next generation of readers? How do we educate people, of my age, that you need to actually buy books for your kids? It's important. So it's not, this is beyond selling, buying Kunda Kids books, because buying Kunda Kids books alone is great. I want you to buy all of our books, but our books are not enough to solve the lack of diversity in children's books. We need to, we need more books. If I can, I'll put out 100 books with beautiful lead Black characters in the next 1 year. I'll be so happy to do that, because the more books we have, the more options our kids have to read and learn, the wider their imagination can be. Like, there's so much that we could that could be done. So it's really, really important, and we're going to be talking about that quite a lot.
Brilliant. No, that's wonderful. Great to look forward to that. And obviously we'll be sharing all of those details again. But obviously we have had people that have already actually, believe it or not, Dele, have already purchased a couple of books today.
Oh, wow. So that's great.
It's one or two people already that have actually purchased some of the wonderful
books. Because they made me fully aware that, you haven't put down where we can purchase the books. So I quickly had to redress that.
so again,
they bought their books from Amazon.
Exactly. So again, everybody's up on there. I've been sharing it all night. So if you did want to purchase any of the wonderful books that are available, just remember, for the moment, only for the moment, the books are designed for children aged between 3 and 8 years of age. And you can go to the website www.kundakids.com, or you can purchase from Amazon. Okay, so if you pop on there and put in Kunda Kids, you'll be able to find all the books available, and you can purchase them. And
remember your Christmas list.
And
buy them quick.
Now, you know what we do have. We do have the hashtag. We are getting used to this hashtag thing, so do bear with us. And we will obviously share that as well. All right. So that will be something that we
So you see, Lorraine is looking for that hashtag, but I believe it is hashtag Black Christmas.
I am going to find it and share it with everybody.
And that is from Nicola Millington, who created this situation where people can actually have a list of the things that they want to buy for Christmas, so that we don't forget, because we're always at the situation where, we are buying things for Christmas at the lastminute.com. So if you have something that you can actually write down the things that you need to buy as a reminder, we start now, because Christmas is only a few months away, but it happens so quickly that we need to make sure that we've got our things and we are prepared. So people, that's a wonderful Christmas present. We'll be putting the hashtag up, and we'll be putting Kunda Kids up there so that people understand this is something for you to buy. So, support our own development, support our own, because this is a wonderful thing that Dele is doing with his wife.
So I'm going to put the hashtag, because I've actually found it now. And it is hashtag Black Owned Christmas. Okay.
Hashtag Black Owned
Christmas. Okay, so let's get going with that. All right, because we need to keep the train going. I know that everybody is back or trying to be back to normal. It's wonderful to be able to get out again, but we must remember to keep on supporting our wonderful, wonderful businesses and what they're trying to do, is like Dele with Kunda Kids, okay? And we do need to support them. So that is the hashtag that, if we can all kind of start getting used to looking at and going under, that would be great.
Yeah.
And again, Kunda Kids will be doing a book launch on Saturday, the 28th of August.
At African Centre in South London.
African Centre in South London. We'll share the proper details with you as we go on. And again, please do go and check out the website, and you will see the array of information in regards to the books that are available. All right.
And you might even see, when you go onto the website, you might see some of the little cartoons, which are really good.
Yep.
They are good, because
superb.
I watched them and I was intrigued, and it's like, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. You and your wife, you've done a marvelous job.
Indeed.
Believe me. And, you know, we will support you all the way as much as we can, you know. So send us the info, whatever you need, and we will make sure it goes out.
Thank you very much.
But thank you once again. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Dele, and all the best. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of Kunda Kids, around and being everywhere for everyone to purchase.
Yeah, okay. We'll continue supporting you.
And we'll keep in touch with you. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It's been a lovely chat. Have a good week ahead.
And you.
And you as well. Lovely to have spoken with you. You take care now.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Blessing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was lovely.
That was lovely. I mean, just imagine that there is a business out there that, you know, it started from the need to provide the information, the resources for their son.
For their son,
and
exactly.
Then out of that came the need, that the recognition that there wasn't enough.
Yeah. So
then came Kunda Kids. So you know what? That is fantastic. And that's what we need to look at. People, we all know what the issues are, but the hardest thing is to address the issues. But once we start addressing the issues, we can then create new things that supports what we're doing. Great
supportive stuff. So we look forward to seeing you next week, where we will be on the 16th of August with Accounts Navigator Andrea Richards. She's the creator and owner of Accounts Navigator.
The director.
So we're going in a completely different direction now, and this is a wonderful accounting.
Yes,
this is more than just accounting.
This is more than an accounting firm. This is a supportive accounting firm. So if you are looking for the right people to support you in terms of accountancy for your business, and even for yourselves to correct which ways you go, taking care of your money, taking care of your business, we recommend that highly. And if you give them a call, we will provide you with that information. If you give them a call and say BBR, you know, you might have some support that you didn't realize.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what we've got coming on next week. So again, have your notepad and pen ready. Okay, because I'm sure Andrew will be sharing some lovely gems that will help you along your journey. And we should have interviewed her a long time ago, so we are correcting that. Nothing before it's time. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for being with us. And if you're watching this again on replay, I hope you enjoyed it. We're all about sharing the great businesses that we do have in our diaspora and sharing their story and their knowledge and you know what they're providing for us. So have a great week. Every Monday 8 p.m. Black Business Recommendation. We are broadcasting simultaneously with YouTube and Facebook. So if you're not a member of the group, you can tell people to go on to Black Business Recommendation at YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe, share. We're not used to doing this. Yeah, we're not used to that. Share. And subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch our other interviews. So enjoy, and we'll talk to you again. And have a great week. Have a great week. All right, see you next week. Take care. You guys. Bye-bye. Bye.